Okay, everybody, we're going to close with a workshop to help you book your first client. And I'm going to start with this idea that your first client could be a client that doesn't pay you and a client who pays you. It's okay if your first client is someone you connect with to offer free support through coaching, consulting, a workshop, whatever it might be. It's okay if your first client isn't necessarily paying you. So I've talked about going through this course to become a better presenter and then going through the business part of being having a better speaking business. And they talk about your pricing often equates to the demand for your services. So when you start, for instance, a speaking business, you create demand by speaking, and oftentimes by speaking for free. And to be honest with you, I felt so free when they talked about it that way. I think we have this pressure of, oh my gosh, what's my price point? And how do I find that first client who pays me? And we get so caught up in that that we lose the joy of the work. And the joy of the work is working with a client. The more you work with clients, the more you're going to enjoy it, and then you'll figure out the pricing. So if at first your clients are free, they're receiving your services for free, you are still creating value for yourself in your work because you're going to better understand how to support your clients, what clients want from you, how to set up a process to support clients, how to create an outcome for clients that just is like fabulous for them. It's okay if your first clients don't pay you because you're actually delivering value and receiving value, and you're staying connected to the work, and you're creating demand for your work, which is how you're going to set your pricing. Okay, so here we go. Here's the process. This is what we're going to talk about. So create a solution. Your solution could be, let's say it's 3 coaching calls. So it's a package of 3 coaching calls to create one strategy to manage stress. That's the solution. And then you're going to think about, who do I want to work with? Well, I'd like to work with small business owners in a caregiving situation because I knew about the stress as a small business owner. And then you're going to think, okay, so how do I connect with these small business owners? Well, you could actually offer a free workshop that's 30 minutes at lunch online that small business owners join you for. And you could call it something like 3 time-saving tips for small business owners in a caregiving situation. The workshop is free. People join you for this free workshop. You could post about it on Eventbrite. You could post about it on social media. And if you get an audience of 1, you have a workshop. Deliver it. It doesn't matter how many attend. That's the other thing. Sometimes we get caught up in the numbers. Oh, it wasn't successful because I only had 1 person. It was successful because you had 1 person. That is success. And then you create the workshop, which is 3 time-saving tips for working family caregivers. You deliver the workshop, and at the end of the workshop, you'll say, oh, you know what, I'm getting into the specifics. So sorry. Okay. So you're going to develop an offer. You're going to launch your opportunity, which is your workshop, for instance. During that workshop, you share your offer and then you enroll. So this is the process. I went into a little more specifics than I meant to. Okay, so what's your solution? I just gave you an idea of a solution. It's a 3-session coaching package. Okay, so think about what's the solution you'd like to offer? And then who's the client? Again, it could be an individual, but it also could be an organization. And let's say your solution is a program, it's a workshop, and you want employers to book you to deliver this workshop. Again, it's okay if you reach out to local employers and ask them if they would be interested in booking you for a lunch and learn. And if they say, we have no budget, you can say, that's okay. I'd be happy to do this for you. And if they say, we have no budget, and you say, okay, that's all right. I wonder if after this workshop, you could provide me with a testimonial. Or I wonder if you're okay if I offer a complimentary coaching call for people to sign up for at the end of this workshop. It's like barter. It's just an exchange. If you, for instance, create a package, 3 coaching sessions to create one strategy for coping with stress, and you want individuals to enroll, again, it's okay. If, for instance, you call this a pilot program because you're just getting data about what works, you can also ask individuals at the start, before they enroll, if they're okay giving you a testimonial at the end of the 3 sessions. Again, you've received something of value. And if you're starting a business, you want to have testimonials that really speak to the impact you can make. And testimonials might be more valuable for you than money at this point, and that's okay. You can be pretty creative about thinking about your client. So it could be individuals in a certain situation, working family caregivers, individuals that have helpful insights. So maybe you design a program where people join you for a 1-hour workshop, but what you really want to do is have them tell you about the workshop. So you want feedback. And maybe after you have, let's say, 5 clients that you provide pro bono services, then maybe the next step is, okay, now I'm ready for a paying client. And so maybe how you go through this process is a little different. I love the idea of a pilot program. And a pilot program has a beginning and an end, and you can gain really helpful insights about a program you want to develop when you invite people to be part of the pilot. Capture data around the pilot. And again, watch our program from Friday afternoon where we talk about the pilot program we developed. It will give you insight if you're thinking about doing your own. You don't have to work with a researcher. You can do it on your own. And if you're thinking about a pilot program, join the pilot program we have going on that starts in June, where we help you with a stress management routine. You'll see how we structure that pilot program so you have an idea of, oh, I want to do that too. And maybe you've developed a product, you're not ready to put it out completely in the marketplace, but you want to test it. So for instance, technology, when they develop an app, sometimes they have a beta test or it's just people who want to enroll with the intent of using something to give feedback. You could do something like that too. So how are you going to connect with these potential clients? There's some ways. You could create this free resource that people access. A lot of times, lead generating products like a workbook require someone give you an email address. Then you have a database of email addresses that you use to reach out to individuals. But that's not really free. I just want to say that that's not really free, but you can say, download this workbook. Here's the form you complete with your email address. And after you give me your email address, I'll share an additional resource for you that could be helpful. Just give people an idea of what they're expecting. I think sometimes with family caregivers too, I think we're so worn out from people kind of taking advantage of us that the idea that it's free, but I have to give you an email and then you're going to bombard me with emails, that's a little bit of a turnoff. So just tell people what they're doing. Sign up to get this workbook. And then after you receive the workbook, I'll send you 2 more emails with additional insights. Just tell people what the process is. If you're going to give it away for free, you don't want them to give you an email address, but you just want this free book to be out into the world, then just have it be free. Actually, that's what I do. I just create workbooks and put it out there for free. But people will tell me how much they liked the workbook, and then I have a testimonial. A reader said, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So there's your connecting opportunity. Again, it could be this workshop that you do that's 30 minutes where it's 3 tips for working family caregivers. It could be a newsletter that people subscribe to that really gives them value. It could be a podcast. You have a podcast series that's 5 episodes, and in each episode, you talk about the next thing. Join me for this event where we'll get more specific about how it can help you. Or it's just a podcast where you talk about 3 tips each day, each podcast, and then you say, and join me for your one-on-one coaching call by scheduling a complimentary session with me. So your connecting opportunity is something that you'll launch. Look at this one. This sounds good, doesn't it? So your offer is to join me for a 1-hour workshop. It's free to learn how to set boundaries with challenging family members. And then people register to join you. Again, you could use Eventbrite. And then you could think about how to create demand for your offer. So for instance, they join you for the workshop. At the end of the workshop, you say, I'd love to meet with you one-on-one. I've created a program. It's 5 sessions. At the end of the 5 sessions, you'll have a strategy to manage the most difficult family members that you encounter. Sign up, schedule purchase the 5-session package by May 20th. That's the deadline. You could set it as a pricing too. You could say, purchase this by this date and save 20%. You could say, purchase this by May 20th for this price, and you'll get this for free. If you feel like I'm not in a place where I have demand yet, you can just say, enroll by this day, and it's free. So if it's a free offer, you can still put a deadline to create this demand for it. Just say, there's no charge for this through May 20th. It's most important that we work together because I'd love to help you. The demand can be a couple different ways that you create it. Again, it's pricing, save. Here's a coupon code that expires. Deadline, enroll by. There's only 10 seats. If you're doing something for free, this might be helpful too. I've got 5 free seats in this program. Enroll by May 20th in order to be one of 5 to receive this offer at no charge. Once you start thinking about this, oh my gosh, creating demand, you'll see it happens all the time, all the time. You're going to see a variation of creating demand all the time. all the time. And just pay attention to what demand you see about buying a product or service that you think, wow, that was really effective. I'm going to try that. So pay attention to how others create demand for their product. And then make an offer and then enroll people. Sign up, give me an email. If you're selling it, press buy now and just make the enrollment as easy as you can. Here's the thing about enrollment. You won't know how to make it as easy as possible until you put it out to have people enroll. Again, that's the thing about all of this. Unless it's out in the real world, you won't have the feedback to make it better. So just think about a process that you think, okay, I think this is pretty easy. And someone is going to say, you know what? I got stuck here. And you're going to say, ah, okay, thank you for letting me know. I've fixed it. I've fixed it. I wish things were easy before we put them out in the world. Wouldn't that be awesome? But it only gets easier or better once you put it out in the world and get feedback and understand where people are getting stuck. And then have some data that you collect. For instance, the data could just be about stories that clients share about what changed for them because they worked with you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a testimonial. It could just be clients say, as a result of these 5 sessions, they have a strategy that they implement immediately to reduce their stress. Or it could be a testimonial. Jane said, as a result of this program, she had an easier encounter with a difficult family member. We often think about data as really numbers, but data can be stories, it can be narratives. So keep track of narratives that people tell you. And then if someone really just is like so appreciative, ask for a testimonial. And then your outcomes become part of your marketing material. Clients say, because of working with me, clients say, and then repeat. You might think you need to create a new connecting opportunity every time you're going to repeat the process. So just as a reminder, the connecting opportunity is social media campaign, workshop, your newsletter. You might think, oh, I need to create I need to create a new enrolling opportunity, connecting opportunity. You do not. You could rerun a workshop, the top 3 tips for working family caregivers, every quarter. And that's your lead generating opportunity that you do every quarter. Does not have to be new content. It's okay to do it every quarter, every week, whatever. It's okay to use the same content. And when you use the same content to create the demand for your service, you'll get better at delivering that connecting opportunity. So it's okay to keep doing it because you'll get better at doing it. And then it'll become an easier process. I used to worry about doing the same things over and over. In truth, it's different every time you do it when it's live. For instance, a live workshop is always going to be a little different depending on feedback and attendees who are sharing stories. And you're always going to meet new people who want to experience this. And you can ask clients to share that the next free workshop is happening on Friday. If they have anyone who would benefit, they can share and invite their friends to participate as well. It doesn't always have to be new. It has to be effective. So when you find that effective connecting opportunity, repeat it. So you're going to connect with potential clients, you're going to make an offer, you're going to enroll, and then you're going to collect data about their experiences. So the way I do it, for instance, is I do these workshops, I'll make an offer, and then I ask for evaluations. The evaluations are required for CEUs, for instance, but I still ask for evaluations after pretty much everything I do, which sometimes you just think, oh, I'm tired of being reviewed. You do get weary of being reviewed, and it's helpful. It's still helpful. And if you are weary of being reviewed, you can take a break from looking at your evaluations. It's okay. So let's say you create this connecting opportunity, which is a quarterly workshop. You get evaluations from these quarterly workshops, even though they're free. And maybe you take a break from looking at them for a month. And then when you're getting ready to market your next free workshop, you look at those evaluations for feedback on what you can do differently and better. So you can collect evaluations at every point. You do a free workshop, people evaluate you. Could be a 5-question evaluation. You enroll them. They participate in a program with you. You ask for evaluations at the end of that program while you're also paying attention to data. It's just nice to have insights about what people are experiencing with you. You don't want to guess what the experience is. You want to know. Okay, so here I'm going to make an offer. So if you have thought about enrolling in our certified caregiving consultant training, now is the time to enroll. Okay, so Ken is asking a question. So I'm going to go back to my offer because I don't want to miss Ken's question because this is a great question. What's the sweet spot for workshop presentation, time, and length? And the sweet spot in terms of time is when it's a good time for you. I do a lot of things at lunch during the lunch hour. That works for me. You might have more time in the evening. That would be when you could do a workshop. I've done workshops during the week at lunch, in the evening, and on Saturday mornings. And I would say it all works as long as it works for me. It's most important, Ken, that the timing works for you. And if you think about who you want to work with, it might work that your timing works for them too, and it might sound like an odd time. But if it works for you, it works for others. So my niece told me about someone she connected with who loved to get up early in the morning. And what she did was create a way to connect to others who love to get up early in the morning. And she developed a program that happened at 6 a.m. for other early risers. And it worked great because she was very clear about what she loved and who she loved connecting with, other early risers. And so the event that she would do on a regular basis for early risers was at 6 a.m. and it was very successful. So when it works for you and you're clear about who you want to work with, it can work for them as well. And then for the time, the length of the workshop, you can be really effective in 30 minutes. And if you have an effective 30-minute workshop where people leave thinking, oh, I want more, oh, how successful was that? Because time is so scarce for us now. There's so much that takes up time for us that if you can be effective in 30 minutes, go for it. We started moving away from a full 50-minute workshop to 25-minute workshops in, let's see, I'm trying to think of when I had the idea that, you know what, we should really just do 25-minute workshops. It might have been in 2021. And once I made that switch from presenters at our conferences presenting for 50 minutes to presenting for 25 minutes, our events got better because it was more information and more information that was really to point became much more valuable. Sometimes we feel like 50 minutes, oh, I can take my time. I have plenty of time. I can just kind of lull my way through this workshop. It lulls your audience. So 25 minutes, you have to be on point and you have to be prepared, and it makes it a better experience for the audience. So again, if you can do something in 30 minutes, wow, that's powerful. Okay, yeah, thank you for that question. Okay, so if you've been thinking about our certified caregiving consultant training, wow, is now the time to enroll. I've got a coupon code for you, and it's 20% off. We have 3 levels to the program. You can enroll in the bronze, and it'll take you about 2 months. It's just over 100 hours. I was thinking of a way to describe this morning. Think of your personal caregiving experience as your undergrad degree and our certified caregiving consultants as your master's degree that helps you turn that undergrad degree into your business that serves family caregivers. The bronze level is awesome. If you just want to start a small business coaching and consulting family caregivers. If you want to do a little bit more, you could look at the silver level. It includes the certified caregiving consultant training, plus our training to be a support group leader, plus our training to be an educator. And you can train others in our other training programs. And then if you think, I want to go big, you can join me for 6 months where we help you write your book, develop a CEU approved workshop that you can deliver to healthcare professionals, plus complete the consultant, the educator, and the facilitator training. We are going to, with Eric from Plans for Care, launch a part of our community where family caregivers can connect to certified caregiving consultants and hire them. We're also going to include training to use Plans for Care, which is a great database of strategies to help dementia family caregivers as part of your training. You don't have to pay extra. So when you enroll now, you get all this support that includes Plans for Care, which is this great option to support dementia family caregivers. You're listed in our direct-to-consumer area of our community, plus everything else. And there's no additional cost for all this extra that we're adding in. So if you're thinking, oh, should I? Now's the time to do it. And you can pay off your program in 3 or 6 months. And if you say, I'd love to do this, I wonder if I could have like an 8-month payment plan. Yes, I can create that for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the coupon code that you want to use to save 20% is May. And the coupon code works if you pay in full or if you pay over monthly plan, the monthly plan. So for instance, if you just select when you enroll to pay over 3 payments, you get 20% off of each of those payments. So the coupon applies if you pay in full or if you pay over 3 or 6 monthly payments. And if you need more monthly payments, reach out because I'd be happy to create that for you. I love to create payment plans. I really do. I love to do that. So here's the link, and I'll put it in the chat room before we close to look at all the different training programs. So you can use May as a coupon code to save 20% on any of our programs. But I really think if you've been sitting with the idea of coaching and consulting family caregivers, now's the time to enroll in our consultant training program. We're going to really hit the ground running in the middle of June with our direct-to-consumer solution where CCCs are listed. And Eric and I have been talking about different ways to promote and market this. We just did a podcast last week that'll be released in the next couple weeks where we talk about this consumer-facing solution. And the podcast that we were on has, I think, 120,000 subscribers. So we're looking at how do we make a big splash? We're really committed to this. We had so much success with this pilot program. We're really using the momentum to think about what's next that's big for us. And honestly, Eric is a big thinker. And he really pushes me to think bigger than I've thought before, which is interesting. He's a really great partner for us. Okay. So that was my offer. That was my offer. That's an offer. That's an offer. Invite people to join. You might think, oh, I don't want to make offers. It's just an invitation. Something that I just loved about doing this pilot program with Plans for Care was enrolling people. It was so fun to enroll people because then they experienced something that was really helpful. I love to enroll people in our training programs because you'll experience something that is going to be so helpful to you personally and professionally. We see this all the time in our consultant training, that there is closure around your personal experience that you didn't expect to get. And then there's this amazing insight into who you can be as a professional that serves family caregivers through your own small business. Wow. And we've set up the program to really help you enjoy success throughout. We're a community. We connect regularly. We're here to support you. I want you to feel at the end of the training program that you are absolutely ready to bring this work out into the world. And then we stay connected as a community. When you complete the training, it doesn't end the relationship. It just moves you into a different way to relate to us through our monthly calls where we connect and share, through opportunities like to present. You met some of our consultants who presented yesterday and did an amazing job. I was thinking, thank goodness I stepped up my game on Thursday because the consultants were so amazing yesterday. So there's opportunities for you to really be a part of the work that we want to bring into the world to support family caregivers. Okay, that's my pitch to you. Now, I also want to say that we have winners. So I'm going to stop the recording and then I'm going to tell you who's won. We have 4 prizes today. So if you've watched this recording, I want to thank you for being a part of this program with us. And thanks for joining us. Okay, so those who are joining us live,